live, Tiff. They think I'm talking to myself. Poke your head over here real quick. Promise I'm not alone right now.
He is, again.
When everybody gets in here, we're going to talk about what happened at Hardin County Court. Hardin County, Kentucky Court. Civil court. For protection order for children. Listen up, David Finkel. The protection order is for children. People can run around saying, oh, Chris is not scared of Todd. I'm afraid for our children because that's what the protective order is for, and for damn good reason. Because grown men should not be stalking some woman that he's obsessed with, children. And he should not be endangering children by sending people to the home of the child while the child is inside, making threats while on panel, and having someone outside on the doorstep or in the driveway, I'll say. That way I'm completely accurate for everyone. And all while trying to convince their entire audience that there is a pedophile inside. Not true. But they seem very convincing, do they not? So if you don't think that endangering that child is a good reason for a protection order, then you can fuck straight off. Now, the police will disagree with anyone who says that it's not a matter that the children need protected. They were the ones that offered it. They were the ones that suggested that we start by getting the IPOs. Now, when more people get in here, I will explain to you why it's been delayed. Because it has been delayed. And I'm sure that a lot of people will see this for a reason to celebrate. I see it as a concerning situation for people who need protective orders for their children. Because we all know that the justice system works very, very slowly, especially when it comes to the judicial branch. They're behind on everything. They're very last. They're the very latest reactive agency in our division system for the United States of America. They're the very last ones to touch anything. That's why you see judges fixing things that cops did a couple years later sometimes. Because the judicial system is the very last one in the order of things, legal things. And this case is no different. So what happened today was we had misinterpreted the new, when I say we, I mean Kentucky clerks, Kentucky police, the office that does the protection orders, and me and Tiffany, we all misinterpreted how the newly implemented IPO, which is interpersonal protection order system, works. The provision for out-of-state filing or out of jurisdiction filing is if you're fleeing to go live at that jurisdiction, not because you need the other jurisdiction to do it. And now we thought that because Todd is in Hardin County and was committing the crimes from Hardin County and under the jurisdiction of Hardin County, that we were perfectly within the right position to file in Hardin County. So that would have been the case had a child been shared with Mr. Bryant. And we didn't read all the way through that. Thank you, Mendre, for the membership, 4 months. Fuck anyone that puts children in danger. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Here, I'll just go over a couple things before we update you. This is just a delay. They're going to make it sound like it's over, but it's nowhere near. It's just getting started. On February 22nd, let's see. Okay, how about this? On September 3rd, 2024, Todd said that he was going to help me kick my addiction to oxygen, that he would be there to help me stop breathing oxygen. On July 22nd, 2024, Todd said that he was coming to my house. He was going to find out where I live. He was coming to my house and asked me if I still had a 1911 or a Glock, I think, something like that, or 357. Said I would need them. They are sexually harassing Tiffany and me. The man is sexually harassing me. Said that he was going to grab me by my hips and pull me down and laugh at me trying to squirm away. He's made all kinds of sexual harassment towards Tiffany, like I can't even count it. He uses the pickle, which that's referenced by a sex machine that Michael Kaiser and Scarborough had created, like literally made a machine with a pickle on the end of it in place of a dildo, and ran the machine on camera and threatened to grape Tiffany. And they said, help me, help me, help me, while they were pulling the trigger, and then tagged us in that video. That's clearly a threat. This is how many times Todd has followed me and Tiffany in person. July 11th, January 9th, again on January 9th in a different location, again on January 9th in yet another location, not invited, after we told him to leave us alone. September 4th and January 10th. On September 20th, Todd and JJ drove to Scott County, Indiana, over 2 hours away, so that they could stalk Tiffany's then 13-year-old daughter. Think about that, David Finkel. This is how many times they've threatened our property, or our horses, or our well-being. On April 27th, on February 18th, on February 20th, on May 28th, on June 2nd, on August 28th, September 8th, and March 25th. On August 28th, 2025. Wait, is that September? Oh. And September 11th, 2025, 2 times, they sent people to our house while there was a 10-year-old child inside. On August 28th, they started organizing a group of people to come to our house with a 10-year-old child inside. Put a 1 in chat if you think that's good enough reason to get protection for the children. Put a 1 in chat if you think that's good enough reason. Just those. There's more. There's a lot more. I just only put in here what we needed to establish the case and make it simple for the judge. Every bit of this has 100% proof behind it. 100% proof. No, nothing edited. Not a bit edited. We cease and desisted on Mr. Bryant, starting with the printed text message, a text message. Tiffany sent him a message and said, please leave us alone. No more contact. Leave us alone. Leave our kids alone. Leave everybody alone.
I told you I needed to confirm on that. I haven't had a chance to. So that hasn't been confirmed.
Well,
I know I had a conversation.
I know we said to leave us alone a year and a half ago.
Yes.
And then I went online with Tav, and I told him to leave us the fuck alone. And I broke up with him, which is what threw him in a spin tail in the first place. Because I found out that he was harboring things for the other side, trying to get me hemmed up. So I told him to fuck straight off. And I'm the one that got his channel monetized. I think he had, 25 subs when I met him? So we believed him for a minute, but then he started acting wacko, screaming at waitresses and shit. When we did meet him for the couple of times we met him, he's yelling at waitresses about how their sandwiches suck. He got mad at a black friend of mine for sitting next to me.
He was like, you guys apparently know each other a lot better than me and you do. I'll move down here at the end of the table.
It like it hurt his feelings. It got weird.
Yeah, that was awkward. Everybody got silent.
And then when the DUI guy had published some comments in his comment section on one of his videos that he was making about me and Tiffany. The DUI guy violated some Kentucky statute, and I called Todd and I asked him to not edit it because I wanted to use it as evidence for our open court hearing. And he freaked out and screamed at me for like 20 minutes straight. Said, "I'm not the one to fuck with, motherfucker. Don't you fucking tell me how to run my YouTube channel." Blah, blah, blah. Like, whoa. Huh. So yeah, we had good reason to tell him to leave us alone. That started over a year and a half ago. We started telling him to leave us alone. On May 2nd, 2025, I again went on panel with him and asked him specifically, didn't drag off into any other conversation. I said, leave us alone. Leave our children alone, leave our property alone, leave us alone. Leave us alone. He failed. And on September 11th, again, on good old Dave Finkel's fucking channel, they tried to drag it into different conversations, and I stuck with the program, and I said, Todd, for the at least third time on record, I am only here for one thing, to tell you to leave us alone and leave the children alone, and let him know that there were children in the house that he was sending people to. So for people saying, you should have talked to him about other stuff, fuck you. Got one thing in mind, protecting their children. That's it. There's more. There's more. But here's the thing that happened. So we misinterpreted the new Kentucky statute to the interpersonal protection orders. And the clerks did as well, and so did the police. And we all thought that because Bryant is in that jurisdiction, that the interpersonal protection order would be able to be used to hear this case. And they thought it so much that they actually implemented the protection orders and seized his firearms because he made threats in regards to firearms. That's why that's checked. And they know about him freaking out on YouTube constantly and threatening to beat people up everywhere, including Fort Knox. The man is so unhinged that he was screaming for me, and I wasn't even there. I was busy taking care of my horses. He's screaming for me because he's obsessed with me, and he's screaming for like 10 other people to meet him at Fort Knox so that he can drag him into a pit. And then he showed up the next day for it. That's unhinged. Put a 1 in chat if you agree that that is fucking unhinged. To tell people to meet you at one of the most protected facilities in the United States of America. The dude is unhinged. So the case in Hardin County is dismissed in civil court because we have to refile in district because it crosses state lines. So as we speak, Tiffany is in the process of refiling that in the proper jurisdiction, and we are going to continue to ensure that our property, our children, and ourselves are protected throughout this process. Now, back in, was it February? When Chris Ruff called Meade County.
I have no clue. He probably stays on the phone with them. He has nothing better to do with his life except for sleep and eat and, well, harass people out of his fucking she shed.
Back in February, March, it looks like, Chris Ruff and Scarborough came up with this brilliant, stupid internet plan to call 911 in Meade County and allege that I was having him flood call them. It's not true. Saying that I said that there was an emergency on my channel, saying that Scarborough was missing from the planet when all I said was that Scarborough is no longer on YouTube. I didn't say anything about him being missing from the planet. And it definitely was not an emergency. And Chris Ruff called in conspiracy on behalf of his literal business partner so that they could wrap me up in more false charges. Now, we knew about this. So they'll have you believe, oh, Chris was served with the summons today, and that's what happened. Well, we knew about this a long time ago because the current prosecutor, Patty, she threatened me with it. She said, you know, I've got other things I can charge you for right now, 2 more charges. We will be doing that if you don't basically tell me to comply, when all I wanted was mediation. So she made that threat, and I guess for Todd, they went ahead and did it and served me with them today. No surprise. I already knew those were there. Now, they weren't officially prosecuted, but I knew it was coming because I knew that how dirty they play. So, Finkel, if you're going to talk about Kentucky buddy system in the legal system of Kentucky, imagine that, buddy. Imagine that. Imagine them working together knowing that they're lying and committing fraud so that they can hem somebody that they don't like up in retaliation for taking legal action, trying to get protection for their children. Finkel, that's to you. Wake up, you brain dead motherfucker. And don't you come flying in with your cape on, Muckster. But people need to leave us alone.
I don't know that Muckster would do that. Did he do that?
Yeah, he did last time.
He
got mad that I wouldn't carry on other conversation on Finkel's panel. That I wouldn't go into La La Land and just spend my time fucking chit-chatting about whatever the fuck they wanted to talk about whenever I had one reason to be there, which was to tell Todd that there were children in the house and to stop sending people there.
I understand that. I think the premise of everyone being upset is that you redirected the content of Finkel's stream into...
Well, he had Todd up.
Into doing that, and I understand that. You needed to...
he had Todd up.
Take advantage of that moment to
you want to get in here?
No, to get done what you needed to get done. But at the same time...
No, fuck this. I'm not playing this shit.
People don't care about that or what your intentions were.
Not only that, but he gets what? 5 people watching this shit? Who fucking cares?
You hijacked his stream and changed the topic.
Fucking whack. The dude puts out fucking 7 videos and live streams a day. If he's going to have Todd on, and I need to tell Todd to stop because there's a 10-year-old child inside the house, that's more important. Put a 1 in chat if you agree that it's more important than any fucking topic you might be having on YouTube.
I think Finkel disagrees.
Yeah, Finkel might disagree, or actually it was Muster that disagreed with it. I don't care. They're nobody to me anyway. They're nobody to me. They're going to realize that me and Tiffany, in order to stay healthy throughout all this, one of the main things we do is we create boundaries. We create very clear boundaries. That's what Todd suffered, was he crossed the boundary. That's what a lot of people have suffered with us, because they crossed our boundaries. Our boundaries are in place for our protection. And to be able to stay mentally healthy throughout all this crazy shit. So, if we cross our boundaries, and you know what they are, if you're going to promote going after Tiff's kids, you crossed our boundary. That's it. It's over. Not friends any longer. Same thing with Toe. Sorry, buddy. See ya. Don't need you. You crossed our boundaries. It didn't have nothing to do with the phone conversation. Had to do with the point. Trying to protect our children. And here's the thing. These people have zero empathy. They put YouTube in front of their own empathy for children. That's what all of these people have in common. They put YouTube clout in front of protecting children in real life. When you send someone to the door of a house where there's a 10-year-old child, under the impression that there's a pedophile inside that house, and much more, while you're making threats on your channel about that person committing a clear threat to the people inside the house, you're obviously endangering and scaring the shit out of the family that's inside.
But hey, it did inspire me to go ahead and get a couple of better cameras.
Even more?
More cameras and a little bit better. So the 3K resolution on the cameras that I just got,
it can fucking see the color of your eyeball.
Fantastic, guys. It is fantastic.
It can see the pupil of your eyeball from down the road. Now, all that is reactive. The proactive solution is protection orders. That's the proactive solution. The reactive solution is having good video of the incident that already occurred.
I was just thinking, I would have gotten 4K cameras, but my system's not set up for 4K. It only goes up to 3K.
Oh, I thought it did. Oh, our old one that got electrocuted did.
So I will be adding on another camera system that is 4K.
Established, let's see. One proud American established in 71. Hardin County, Kentucky is horrible at trying to save anybody from any kind of violence. What was it, 2 years ago? There was a woman and her mother, I believe. Somebody else was shot. Yeah, right in the parking lot. That wasn't 2 years ago. 3 or 4 days after that happened, the incident you're talking about was a woman needed a protective order against her ex. And her mom or dad, I think, one or the other, went to court for the protection order. They parked in the parking lot, same place we park. And there's actually a memorial there for it. And after court, the guy went out and shot them both. And 3 or 4 days after that, Tiffany and I had court at that very same day, very same building. And that was when the 3%ers were threatening us. And Todd wouldn't leave us alone. He kept following us to all of our court hearings wearing an empty holster, he claims. Now, I don't know if it's empty or not. But why would you have a holster if you weren't packing in the first place? Now, it would be one thing if it was just a person who's always packing, but the only reason he left that basement was to come harass us, and he was obviously packing. Why? Why do you need to pack to drive 10 minutes from your house just to go to a courthouse and then go back home? It's obviously for intimidation purposes. But it was only a few days after those murders, that double homicide, that Todd decided that he was going to chase us at that very same building. And it didn't go so well for him because due to that situation and due to us proving the way these people had behaved at our court cases before by having their guns and chasing us and telling us we can't go inside and all that, the judge gave us Zoom and made it off the record so nobody would know. And sure enough, Todd showed up and stood there and harassed the sheriff's deputies, the court staff. Yeah, he's a creep. Greg Brent followed me in there too, so that they could publish it on Michael Kaiser's. Greg Brent has literally followed me to every single thing possible. That is one of the creepiest, most mentally disturbed men that I've ever encountered in my life. The KKK guy, and then his little leader, Pat, little gay guy with a big fat belly, wears real super tight polo shirts, and he has his hair permed. He's their fucking leader. He hides behind veteran status for all his behavior. They're very, very racist. And if black people are doing anything in anywhere near their towns, they all group together and they go and they scream obscenities at them. Call them pedophiles, call them the N-word, call them all kinds of stuff.
Wait, so you mean that his hair's intentionally like that?
Who, Pat's?
I thought that was an accident.
I don't know. It's a perm.
Like genetics. I hope that's not intentional.
Well, he's fighting his gayness, you know.
He should just embrace it.
But, yeah, so all that happened in court was the judge said this is not my jurisdiction. A lot of people misinterpret the IPO. You'll have to file this in a different court. So that's what we're doing. We're filing it in district court. Is that what you're working on? Yeah.
So you guys will hear the use of the word dismissed today. It was dismissed in that courtroom due to jurisdiction, but
right.
It will be refiled very soon. in an appropriate venue.
In the right venue, in the correct venue. It will be in our district court.
I just didn't want to do it on a district court level, but that's the only option we apparently have.
The reason we can't get any protection orders where we live is because our judge is stuck in, 1985 or 95, and he doesn't understand that the law changed in Indiana for the protection order system to allow non-domestic partnership cases to be heard in protection order court. Our judge, even when we sent him the law that shows that it changed 20 years ago, he still just denies the cases at all. You don't get to go to court or nothing. So that's an issue that we're going to try to help solve in our county, Harrison County, Indiana. That needs to be resolved, because I can't imagine how many people have had to deal with harassment and stalking and intimidation because they weren't fucking the person that they needed protection from. Bad judge. That's bad. I know the judges always get wind whenever for public safety or official misconduct say something on their YouTube channel. So I'm just telling you, Judge, that's bad. You're putting a lot of people at jeopardy. So anyway, that's why we couldn't get it done there. We did file. It got turned away because it specifically said only because me and Todd were not in a domestic partnership. Huh. Well, duh. That's because I won't let him. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants to be in a domestic partnership with me, and I rejected him, and the dude can't handle rejection. And he's dangerous. He's dangerous in his mentality. He's dangerous in his behavior. He's dangerous with the newfound power that he's got with his little YouTube channel. When you publish one of these videos, y'all, it goes public to anyone in the world. So if I'm abusing my YouTube channel to suggest that someone is the type of person that a lot of people want to do harm to, like a pedo, what do you think you're doing to that person? Now, the group out of Carrollton would love to say, well, we're your victim in that matter because you're saying we're racist. I'm only showing that you're racist.
They showed they were racist, and that's what we were stating our opinion on, because they showed that they are racist and very
we were called there
people.
By the people that they committed the racism on.
We didn't show that. They showed that. We didn't state that. They showed that and gave us the opportunity to state it. Oh, and also, whoever pronounced my last name Napier in that video, it's Napier. It's just simple.
That was Giggles.
I'm not French. It's just Napier.
It
easy,
was,
easy.
It was
And then Napier.
Greg Ellis, Mary Ellis, and Greg
I
Brent
don't even care.
and Barbie Brent.
They all are like mingled together as far as my mind is concerned, just with one great cluster of fucked up annoyance and harassment and stalking.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the whole 3%er deal. Some people consider themselves part of an organization, whether they've actually been admitted in any kind of capacity to that organization. Now, that's just because they got buddies that might be affiliated or something like that, which technically makes them affiliated as well. But this group is hiding behind the guise of being 3%ers. That's why it's tattooed on their skin and stuff. I don't know. Well, I do know of some racist 3%er events in which they got themselves put on the terrorist list because they 3%ers drove cars through protests, and I think it was 28 people that they ended the lives of. And then they did a explosion situation at a mosque. Several things like that. So like I do not support anything like that. No violence. So, you know, if people are saying, well, you got to leave the 3%ers alone, I don't have a say on my feelings on 3%ers. For all I care, they could disappear out of being an organization that's collective in America. I don't like those collective organizations if they mean to do people harm. period. That doesn't mean I care. That's not what I'm concerned with. What I'm concerned with are the individuals who are doing us harm. That's what I'm concerned with. So you'll hear a lot of bragging and lies about what happened in court today, but the truth is we were out of jurisdiction because we didn't understand the IPO statute requirements, because the only thing that we had wrong was that we do not share a child with Todd. That was the only thing that was wrong. So even the clerks were confused, even the police were confused. You know, they were the ones that guided us through that process. So we did it. We went to court today. The judge said, no, that's not how this works. Before we have any discussion about any of it, we need to establish that. She said, I don't have jurisdiction. I can't do it. If you're from Indiana and you're asking for a protection order, she said, I can't grant you that because it would be outside of my jurisdiction. She said, you're going to need to pursue that in another jurisdiction the proper way. So we are. That's all it is. And you'll hear, he got served while he was there. No, I got served back in, I don't know what it was, March, April. I got served for what Chris Ruff did back in like April or whatever. They just gave me the paperwork today. I was expecting that a long time ago. And that was under the threat. That was issued as a threat to me to literally shut my mouth about my case by the prosecutor.
Oh, that's so weird that you just received the paperwork today after filing for,
Back in February it was filed.
That's just so crazy. What would that be called if you gave
malicious prosecution, maybe?
Oh, that's right.
Patty, you've been watching so much. Patty, you've been watching so much. You threatened me with these charges for me discussing my case openly on YouTube, which is not illegal. I have a First Amendment protected right. The other prosecutor told you that, Patty. You said you didn't want it to be on YouTube. Well, you weren't, Patty. What you just did was commit malicious prosecution, Patty. Put a one in chat if you all understand that.
And
that her threatening me with charges to keep me quiet from talking openly about my First Amendment protected, my case.
And I absolutely documented that meeting, Patty.
Oh yeah, that meeting at the library, at the public library, Patty.
That recording's crystal clear.
Very, very clear.
Crystal clear.
So
good job.
Yeah, I mean, all they're doing is blowing Kentucky's money, but they're actually costing us a lot of money. And meanwhile, people like Finkel are over there paying for Todd, who's stalking children, to have lawyers. We haven't even asked for money since we collected for our raid lawsuit and to get Tom from the fake criminal charges that we're up against.
Wait. What it is Finkel, he just likes the diverse conversation of different topics, right? He likes seeing and hearing other opinions and talking, right?
Sarcasm.
He enjoys that, right?
Anyway, I'm not going to make this about Finkel.
He stands tall on
I just wonder why.
Narrative.
Right. I just wonder why a man.
Well, fucking oh.
I just wonder why a man would pay for an attorney for another man who's clearly stalking. Thank you, Gregory, the cameraman, dropping $2 to help us out.
Thank you, Gregory.
We won't give up because we can't give up. I have 15 false charges against me. Can't give up. Giving up would mean going to prison. Are we in need financially? Of course we are. But since there's any kind of notion that we are not allowed to ask for help financially, even though that's exactly what anyone else does to us. Thank you, Gregory. Even though that's exactly what anyone else does, they go screaming for money, such as Fraudulent Troll. He got rightfully sued by DMA recently, and the first thing he does, even though every single one of his videos...
Bravo, DMA.
What is his name? What is his name? Habalt. Jonathan Habalt. Every single one of Habalt's videos that he steals from other channels, he's making fun of what he calls frauditors for using their platform to collect, to help them out in their legal situation. And the first thing you did, Jonathan, was run and beg for money.
Help me.
For your defense when you're the one in the wrong.
Help me get a lawyer for what I absolutely got myself legally hemmed up in, please?
Now, if y'all are wondering why we care about Jonathan, it's because he was one of the first people to use his platform to go after Tiffany's kids.
He's not very intelligent.
Oh, he's a
Although
dumbass.
he pretends to be on YouTube. It's a character, I guess.
So go DMA. And listen, Denver, Chris, if you're watching, which you might get this message, we will be more than happy to turn over the police reports, the documentation that exists, and the criminal charges that were that close to being filed on that guy for using his platform to hurt our children. We only backed out of that because we had too much going on. But if you want that information that you can use in yours, which it didn't include copyright, but it showed without any doubt that the man was using his platform to cause damage to other people.
Yeah, there's a lot more people out there that could add on to that if they wanted to, or if you wanted them to.
Reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to send you all that, Chris.
And I'd be more than happy to send you a few more people.
Yeah, we know a few people that have been damaged by fraud or troll.
We don't want DMA's help. We're trying to
No.
help DMA. We're proud
Who
of
said
him for
that?
being...
Vigilance Committee? What do you mean not going to help us? We don't want his help.
No, we're just giving him a pat on
We
the
said
back.
we would help him. What?
Yeah.
How confused that?
No, we don't want his help. We don't need his help. We know DMA's good. We're just proud of him for being able to file a lawsuit. Go DMA.
How do people get that backwards? Did I say something in a way that made anyone else confused? How could you get that backwards? I just said I'm offering to give him paperwork, documentation against fraud or
Are
troll.
we in the upside?
Is this the upside down world?
I think so.
You have to have you went to Harrison County Sheriff's Department for an Indiana PO? Okay, the Sheriff's Department does not do the POs, Joey.
They take it
orders?
straight to that fantastic judge that does not care about the updated law.
Yeah, so
It's-
20 years ago plus, the law changed in Indiana for protective orders, allowing people that are not in domestic partnerships who are being harassed, stalked, or intimidated to also get protective orders in the same format. And our judge in Harrison County over those matters does not understand that, no matter how much you show him the law. So he kicks out. The judge kicks out the cases and you never get to go to court. As long as you're not having sex with the other person, he just kicks it out. So that's one of the questions on the form, is if you're in a domestic partnership and you say no, because I'm not fucking Todd, no matter how hard Todd wants to.
What irritates me the most is whenever we filed our most recent one requesting a protective order, I included the updated act that changed the law, and I
20 years
showed
ago.
it to him. And I was like, please do not deny this. This is what the law says. We are allowed to get a protective order. Please hear this in court. And he says, denied.
Yeah, denied for court. You don't even get to go to court. It's denied before you ever even get to be heard.
I was like, all right.
That needs to be resolved in Harrison County, so we're going to work on that. So yeah, we're refiling everything in district court, so it's just another setback and prolonged period of time where the legal system is failing to protect the children. But here's what Todd found out today. Are you all ready for this? Give me a drum roll, somebody. Put drums in the chat. Drums, because I have not told you all about this. Give me some drum rolls. Y'all can find them. Y'all can find the little drummers. Give me some drum rolls. If you can't find a drum roll, give me a bunch of ones in a row. Like, here's what you all didn't know. I'm waiting for drums. There's some drums. Come on. Bring them. Give us a W. Give us some drums. Give us some ones in a row. Because if you give me enough drums, if you ask for this with the drum roll, I will tell you something that you don't know that Todd found out today, so there's no point in me keeping it a secret anymore. Todd was criminally charged. That's it. Todd was criminally charged by the Radcliffe Police Department. He did not know that. They attached a warrant for criminal charges at the end of the civil process that was supposed to take place today. The only thing that kept him from getting arrested on that warrant was the fact that we had already filed for a protection order, and that was being heard in civil court. So since the police attached that to that case was dismissed today. This allows the Radcliffe police to reopen that case and not be blocked by the courts. Now, which would I rather have? A protection order through the civil courts with the protection ongoing for a few years, or Todd getting charged for harassment, intimidation, and stalking? Well, all of those, believe it or not, that I've just said are misdemeanors. So he would be in and then bonded out by Finkel and JJ in a few hours or days without the protective order. If the protective order is in place, like they were trying to do it, then it would have been contempt court as well as violation of the protective order, and he would have gotten a lot longer, like 90 days. The police fully expected Todd to stay in jail after today's hearing for 90 days. That's what they were expecting. Because in their experience, when people violate the protection orders like that by committing more harassment, more stalking, any type of intimidation while protective order is active against them, in their experience, they said that when those are violated, the judge usually gives 90 days. So they were expecting Todd to get at least 90 days today. However, the only thing that was stopping it from going directly to the criminal process, which the judge advised that I follow through with today, was the fact that we had the civil process in place. So we're going to reopen those through the criminal process as we file with district court, which is completely different jurisdictions, and we're getting back to protecting our children and ourselves and our property and our horses. That's how it's going to work. So, yeah, Todd was set to go to jail at the end of the hearing. All we needed to do was establish the protection order, and he was going to get 90 days. But because we were in the wrong jurisdiction, that particular case, not the criminal case, but the civil case, was moot. So the violation of the civil case was moot, meaning that judge was out of jurisdiction to be able to do anything the way that was filed. So they have to refile it. The prosecutor's already prosecuting. They've already established a probable cause. It was attached to the judge's docket. So it only will be refiled without the civil order now that the civil order is gone. So there will be criminal charges going out on Todd, for sure. Again, that's not even what we want. What we want is a proactive, pre-incident protection process. Aren't civilians supposed to be protected by that process? Put a 1 in chat if you agree. Aren't they? Because the way I see it, the failure is on our current government. When you got judges like you got in Harrison County who fail to accept people who are not in sexual relationships to get protection, when you got the judges who are responsible for initiating any type of protection, which is the last division of government, instead of the first division of government being able to do anything about it. Because when you go to police for harassment, intimidation, or stalking, they will tell you what you've got to do before I can help you is you got to go and get a protection order, and then I can help you. That's what they tell you every time. Now, they're not right. They're incorrect. But that is the process that's happening. That's what they're being trained to do. That's what they're supposed to do because that's what the government's telling them to do. So it puts the people in even less of a position to be receiving the benefits that our tax money pays for. Ruff didn't steal my channel. He mimicked it. JJ had my channel removed with fraud.
Yeah, they didn't like steal it. They didn't take it from your platform.
They pretended
and
to
put it over on theirs. Like what they did is they got an LLC in your name and your YouTube name, and then got your channel taken down, and then stole all of your content and started a new channel, and then put all of your content in the membership section, so people have to pay them extra money.
Donna says hi. She's a member for 4 months. Says hi to Diesel, who's not with us. But
Hello, Donna.
What
Thank
Chris
you.
really did, and JJ together in business together, was they committed copyright infringement and trademark infringement. That's what they really did. Be severe with $5. Keep fighting. Don't let these idiots get away with what they're doing. They're obsessed with you, and it's pathetic. Won't even show their faces. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Be Severe. Any money we collect from this is going to keep us afloat. So we are not ashamed to receive any kind of financial benefits. I don't know what you call it. Financial assistance. We're not going to open up any kind of
Oh, no.
dedicated collection again.
No.
Because that just gets attacked as soon as we do. They start saying that we're
And then they
going to
start
court for
lying that
pedo and
yeah, they
all
start
kinds of
lying
crazy
saying
shit.
that we're not collecting for what we need it for, and
Yeah.
it gets to be a headache and a irritation.
Not to mention, we don't have an exact dollar amount of how much we're going to end up paying. And I like to, if I'm going to do a collection, I like to be able to show where every single penny is going, like I did on the first round, which was 3 different cases. And we came up only, what, 5,000 short, about 4,800 short. And I paid that out of pocket, the 4,800 I paid out of pocket. But then we went in another 10,000 because of all the extra charges that they keep throwing on. At least 10,000. So we're working on that now. What's the other? Oh, as far as the other channel goes, all they did was just copied mine, used my content, and then just committed fraud, gained access to my channel, and put pornography on it in the back string, like in the back, unlisted. And they said that it was over memes that I was publishing. That's a damn lie. I mean, I can show you the conversation with YouTube if you want. They specifically said, no, there was not a meme. It wasn't a community post. It was a video, and it was unlisted, and it was removed, but we can still see it. So they uploaded it using my password that only Meade County gained access to, my password, and they used a VPN IP address that was close to my home. So these fucking stalkers. Donna with $20. Gift for security camera fund. Well, that's helpful.
Oh, that is awesome.
Thank you, Miss Donna. That actually, we just bought more cameras, so thank you.
Thank you.
We felt like we needed to update at least a couple of the front cameras so that we could read license plates, and it turned out to be a really good purchase.
I have had my eye on one more to go up in the front. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, but we got every inch covered.
We do have every inch covered.
And up and down the
but
street.
I'm working on updating our ones that can be a little bit clearer. So thank you, Miss Donna. I will put that to good use. I promise.
And we do need lawyer money, you all. Like right now, our lawyer's asking for like $4,000 or $5,000 right now. So we do need lawyer money. When we won our settlement, when we won our lawsuit against Clark County, the first thing we did with it, which was only half of what we lost, okay? The first thing we did with it is we put a down payment on the land. So we're, with what little is left, we're paying payments on everything. The horse boarding, the land, the insurance, we still have so much left to do that needs to be done that we don't have the money for. Like, I work, so, I'm putting towards it just like anybody else would, but we will still have to do our driveway, our fence, our septic, we're planning on putting a modular home on it. Like, I handle all that. That's my life, but it's going to take me some time. But that settlement, just that quick, and all these people are out trying to get our money. Well, how? What money? I mean, we got a little bit put back for emergencies, but it's be throwing at lawyers and shit. We're still the same people. We came in humble in the first place. We were only making as much as we needed for life. Bunny has a $4,000 drone. You should get one of those for what? What do I need a drone for? To catch people that are stalking? We see them. We live in a small town, and despite what you might have heard on the haters' platforms, our neighbors like us. The people at the dollar store are very, very much friends of ours. They never say a bad word about us, and they tell us anytime people come asking about us. The police watch very closely, especially our house with all the shit that's going on. The school is heavily protected and has school resource officers. Did y'all know that Benghazi Rabbit, last night on a panel threatened to put tents on the school property, threatening Tiff's kids? Fucking William Bartholomew Rabbit, the motherfucker threatened Tiff's kids, said he was going to come. This is on behalf of Todd. He's coming. He's coming. And he's going to set some tents up on the elementary school property.
They said it's for a car show, right?
No, don't even bother with that dumb shit.
I'm just wondering what car show he has. He doesn't have a car to put in a car show.
He made up some bullshit to try to excuse his fucking criminal behavior by saying, yeah, we're going to have a car show there.
Maybe he's going to stop dressing up like a rabbit and start dressing up like a car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So anyone who sees anyone saying nobody's threatening your kids, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. We just handle it better than most. And as far as the kids' mentality, unaffected, pretty much. Other than fear in the moment, not being able to go outside on the kid's birthday because Chris Ruff was putting $100 bounties saying anyone that goes to this child's house on his birthday will get $100. Other than that.
Well, thank goodness that, DirectD doesn't wake up and start being retarded until later in the evening.
I love how they're like, well, you put out his information. No, I fucking didn't. It wasn't me. I didn't know where he was. I knew he was in a she shed in the fucking desert. That's what I put out.
I wouldn't mind knowing where he was specifically.
No, we know now.
Oh, we do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I've got paperwork I need to send him.
Exactly. Lots of it. Not to mention the copyright and trademark infringement. Chris. So here's how court went. Chris is one of Todd's victims almost. Like, Chris asked Todd why he uses his platform to go after hurt or damage children. And Todd did what Todd does. He freaked out and lost his mind on Chris. And if I got the right Chris, I think I do. Todd threatened to beat him up. He started with Chris. He said he was going to meet Chris at Fort Knox and beat him up or whatever. Said he wanted to challenge him to fight in the pit or some shit like that. And Chris wasn't even trying. Gregory with $5. Diesel needs more biscuits. Thank you, Gregory Hupp. Appreciate that, buddy.
Thank you, Gregory.
To be honest with you, it'll probably go towards lawyer fees if I make any money off my YouTube channel. Diesel's got so many biscuits already.
Plus, for his gotcha day, I went and bought him toys and snacks.
Chris says yes, that is him.
I got him something else. What else?
Here, let me not get off track, honey. All right, so Todd was threatening Chris. Chris was not going back and forth with him. He did not say he wanted to fight him at all. He even said, I'm not trying to fight you, Todd. I'm trying to ask you why you attack people's children using your YouTube platform. And Todd went off and he said, any veteran that wants to meet me at Fort Knox tomorrow at noon. And he started screaming to set his alarms to make sure he was going to be there. And then I get messaged to go watch that shit because I wasn't watching it. Because he was saying, Chris Reiter, you better come there too, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with this fucking obsessive dude? He is mentally unstable. So I called the police on him because there's already been an active investigation on Todd already for intimidation of participants in a legal proceeding against us. Coming to our court hearings wearing guns and shit, or at least wearing holsters. Fucking screaming at us, putting pictures up of my attorney's home. Fucking threatening us. Like, literally, he said he was going to help me stop breathing oxygen. He said that he was going to find out where I live and come to my house, and I was going to need my guns. That's enough for me to know that I need to protect my house. So, yeah, I mean, Chris, so what happened today, because you would probably be one person that has rightful interest in this, we filed it in the wrong jurisdiction. So it's temporarily on hold. It won't be heard in that jurisdiction. It will not be heard in Hardin County. There are criminal processes going on Todd for harassment, stalking, and what was the other one? Harassment, stalking, and it was child stalking, and what else? Harassment. So he has.
I was like, I don't know.
He does have criminal charges coming. Now that the civil process is out of the way, the police can do that without attaching it to the civil process. So Todd's probably going to get 3 misdemeanors, which is not good enough, because he's going to get bonded out by people like David Finkel and JJ. He's going to get bonded out, and he's going to think that it's appropriate to go right back to doing it again. So what we are doing is we're filing action, the same exact action in what is it? The federal court.
District court.
So we're refiling the exact same thing. We have all the proof. We have the claims already written. Like, we're going to refile for protection order. Now, I know that doesn't help you, Chris. I don't think Todd's going to continue to come after you. You're not close to him like we are. But that is what happened. So the case was dismissed based on jurisdiction today, but that opened the door for 3 misdemeanor charges minimum, maybe more, and that also opens the door for us to file in the proper jurisdiction. So we're going to do it. Well, we're already working on it. That's what Tiffany's over here doing. Y'all want to see the kind of stuff I do for work? Put a one in chat if you want to see exactly what my company does, because they're doing it right here in front of us right now. This isn't my project, but
I was going to say, and haters, before you start calling and harassing, this is not his project.
This is not my project, but this is exactly what my company does.
Don't call and say that these people are PDF files and, or whatever it is you say about.
See that?
I don't know.
See that right there, guys? That Subway is either getting new signage and an update, or they're shutting down and it's going to be another store. That's see all the equipment and the different workers, the different companies, the contractors that are here. That's what I do. I organize these projects. Matter of fact, I share client list with a lot of these people. Not like Epstein's. Nothing gross on my client list. But I share a client list with some of these contractors that are here right now. And they're like, yeah, man, here's our card for if you get a project you need signage removed or something. But that's what my company's done for the last, I don't know, 14 years, something like that. But that's what I do.
We do need to get back on the road.
We do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got plenty of time, but okay.
Well, we do, but I would like to be at home where my desk is and all of my stuff is.
Herbie says construction projects manager. No, I'm not a manager. I'm the business owner. So like my company is a commercial construction contracting company, and I'm the one that is contacted by directly, like for this, it would be Love's, that would have a nationwide or sometimes even worldwide company that handles all their projects. And then they have a database for areas where companies like mine exist. So if it's in a 100-mile radius of Louisville, Kentucky, and I work for the international or national company that handles these projects, then they would reach out and ask me to put a bid in on it. I would put the bid in, and then if my bid is the best one, then I'm awarded the project, and then I have to contact all these other contractors and get them to start the project and then oversee the project throughout. So like, that's why a lot of times all I have to do is just, make a lot of phone calls, do a lot of office work, pay a lot of fees and set it all up, and then just drive to the project maybe for a couple hours at a time a couple times a week until it's done. So like, you know, a lot of people confuse what it is I do for a living. That's what it is. It was good for you all to be able to see one of these projects in action, but that's what I do. I do work. I do work, and actually the company brings in good money, but it just costs a lot more overhead than anyone could imagine. So, yeah. So the protective order case is on hold, unfortunately. That does not mean that we are not taking other precautions for protection. What that means is that the government is too slow when it comes to protecting people, especially children, and the processes are too difficult and confusing, especially when you have statutes that read in a way that confuse police officers, the actual judges' clerks, the offices that provide the protection orders, and the people reading it, the citizens. You know, when you got rules that are that confusing, and you make it this hard to get protection, that's a problem. That's a problem with how our tax money is being used. So, but we're going to continue to have as many protection processes in place. Tiff's kids, one of them is for sure in good spirits and in good shape and very well protected right now. The other we don't have. You know what? We shouldn't be sharing information about her children at all on YouTube. I would like to make that the new policy. I would like that to be the policy. I don't know why people won't leave them alone. They're kids, man. So if you see, you know, people lying about the situation, share this link to them and tell them, you know, if you have a problem with it, first of all, why? Second of all, ask them, does YouTube come before your morality? And third, you can say, if you got a problem with Chris and Tiffany, why don't you just let them go through the court process and prove it in court? You can do it like that. Meanwhile, we will provide information as we feel comfortable with you, and we've always brought the receipts to everything, and we like to continue the process uninterrupted and then share it with you as it is completed. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what people should be doing. So, and then finally, to the prosecutor in my misdemeanor cases for Meade County, Patty, that was malicious prosecution. We knew you were going to do it. You threatened it. Then you pulled it on through for Todd, for a guy who's stalking our kids. So, first of all, you're probably going to get recused, which just prolongs the case even longer. And second of all, you're going to get sued for malicious prosecution. I don't understand why they can't just do the right thing. I even promoted Patty a few weeks ago because I really appreciate her stance as a politician in the state of Kentucky. I agree with her message that she uses her social media platform practicing her First Amendment for. Sound familiar, guys?
Politician.
Yeah, she's a politician.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know what else you'd call it. She runs for offices. She's a prosecutor. She's definitely government. But she uses her social media platform to project her opinions, her stance on how government should be functioning, and she even names people and posts pictures of them and memes against them, government officials, under her First Amendment protection on her social media platform. But for some reason, she's prosecuting me for doing the exact same thing. And she knows that they're lies that are being alleged against me. She knows that. So shame on Patty. And to you all, 112 people in here, I'm sure there's only 10 haters. We love you. Thank you so much for your support. It's been very much needed and a blessing to us. And we will never let you down, and we will never forget that you are here supporting us and watching over our backs. It's like having guardian angels. You know what I'm saying? Tiff, you gonna say bye? Ain't she beautiful, guys?
Oh no, I'm looking really old.
You are not. You look young. She's gorgeous. All right. Love y'all. And we'll see you on the next one.
Love y'all.